Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday, the 18th of December 2021. Now, today was supposed to be a match day, but the game with Preston North End was postponed because of a COVID outbreak amongst the Mill squad and the Mill staff. So, and a lot of games on Saturday were postponed today. There was one game in the Premier League that actually went ahead. Games up and down the league were being postponed, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It seems to be deja vu. Remember this time last year? Well, it's happening again. So, with lockdown looming, will football be affected? And it does look like it will be. This is from the sun.co.uk, but this is everywhere. This is all over the press. Wherever you look, this is all they're talking about. Will there be another lockdown in the UK, and will it come before Christmas? Well, no, because he said it's not going to become before Christmas. But we are getting rumours. So the Prime Minister, though, has vowed not to have a lockdown before Christmas, although rumours have swirled that plans for one after have been drawn up. Now, why would you draw up the plans if you're not going to implement it? So it seems it's going to be happening. This looks unlikely to happen before Christmas, with Johnson saying we are not closing things down. However, imposing stronger restrictions and even a lockdown after Christmas Day have not been ruled out. Officials have been mulling proposals for a 2-week circuit breaker. We've heard that one before. Two weeks to slow the spread, yeah? Which turns into months and months and months. Which would include a ban on meeting friends and family indoors. The Times reports that ministers are preparing draft plans that will prevent Brits meeting others indoors except for work purposes. And this seems to be the modus operandi for the government. They leak this stuff out to the Times. The Times find out. They put it out as a story, and then however the people react to it in terms of opinion polls and the opinion pieces and the polling, whether the people say they're in favour or they're against. I mean, there were lockdown protests in London today, so but you don't see that in the press. They actually did cover this one because there was it kicked off and there was police getting injured. But if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have reported it. They don't cover the protests that are happening, which is weird. It's news. Why would you not mention things that are happening in the news? But so pubs and restaurants will be limited to outdoor service only if the scheme is given the green light. So you remember that? Remember that where you weren't allowed inside the pub, you had to order from outside? That looks set to be coming back. But only for 2 weeks though? Yeah, right, okay. So that seems to be happening. But in this story here, they only mention the pubs. They don't mention anything about football stadia, which is what we're interested in as football fans who go to the matches or watch the matches, and they just crack on about other stuff here. But we've got this from wholedailymail.co.uk. Everywhere that could be forced to close in the circuit breaker lockdown. A 2-week circuit breaker lockdown could be introduced in coming days, with many places forced to close. So they have a bit more of a list of what could be happening. So England could be plunged into a circuit breaker lockdown within days amid concerns about rising COVID-19 cases. To combat the rising cases, the government is reportedly considering a 2-week lockdown just after Christmas. Under the lockdown rules, many places will be forced to close with tight restrictions in force. People will be stopped from mixing indoors, so house parties and family gatherings would be banned. And it is believed the rules could be introduced from December 27 or 28th. So there you go. So, and apparently there's going to be some kind of press conference or You know where they this picture here on the bottom right, where they stand up at the lectern and they talk. Apparently, there's going to be one of them on Tuesday the 21st. And it's going to be announced then, because the cases aren't going down, but it's Omicron. It's only one person died, and apparently the cases are high, but people aren't getting in hospital with it. But here you go. So this is set to come in from 27th or 28th of December. Let me just scroll. So here are the places which would be forced to close. So they ascertain with certainty that these would be the places forced to close. Pubs, bars and restaurants will be shut indoors, but will be allowed to serve takeaway or have customers outdoors in the freezing cold. Nice. Theatres, cinemas and other entertainment could close. Football stadia and other large event venues. Shops will be allowed to remain open. It's understood services like hairdressers and beauty salons could also be allowed to open. Schools are also likely to be allowed to open as usual for the January term. So it's not complete cut and dry like before, where you have to your kids would have to stay at home from school, work from home, homeschool or whatever on the Zoom. But they'll actually let them go back in. But could you see the teachers falling for that? I imagine they'll kick off. They want to get paid to do nothing again. I don't know. But yeah, so what does that mean for us? Now, to be honest, I don't like talking about it, but this could have a big impact on us, because if it's a 2-week lockdown and it starts on the 27th, well, let's do the maths. So 27th is day 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 New Year's Eve. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2-week lockdown takes us to Sunday the 9th. If they force football games to be played behind closed doors, the Crystal Palace FA Cup game on Saturday the 8th that everyone is raving about, everyone's absolutely ecstatic about, and we're happy that when that draw was made, you will not be going to that game. No one will. You'll have to sit at home and watch it on ITV. But you're not allowed to mix. You have to sit on your own. Maybe FaceTime your mate who lives next door. Well, that's what you're supposed to do, but what you're supposed to do and what you actually do are two different things. Just don't tell anyone yet, because there's too many grasses around. You wouldn't believe how snide some people can be. So seriously, if you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, keep it to yourself. Don't spread that around. So, but yeah, Saturday the 8th, Crystal Palace FA Cup 3rd round at home. Gone. Not happening. And here's the kicker. So they're going to start selling tickets to members. They've already sold the tickets to season ticket holders. They're going to start selling tickets to members on Monday. And the announcement's probably set to be off me. I don't know if it's only on Monday or on Tuesday. So they're going to sell these tickets, and immediately they're going to have to refund them all straight away. So if I was working for Millwall Football Club, I would postpone the selling of tickets to members until the 22nd, and then it'll be taken out your hands anyway. You'll just have to refund the season ticket holders who have bought tickets. Because this is how they do it. They announce something's going to be happening, and then it happens, and then they change it. So they already brought in restrictions for the Preston North End game. They said you're going to have to show proof of vaccination or a negative test to get into this game. The game got postponed because of COVID cases amongst the the footballers and the staff. So that didn't happen, and then it's just got worse because now they're looking to just do a complete lockdown. Now here's the thing: if Millwall Football Club and Swansea City Football Club have 14 players available to play on the 26th of December, that game will go ahead, but it will go ahead it's seemingly under the current restrictions for the Preston North End game. So that Boxing Day game may very well be the last game that you can get to for a while. Now it's only supposed to be 2 weeks, but who knows? It might be longer than that. Which is, what can you say? So this is what's set to be effective. So if this Boxing Day game goes ahead, that should go ahead under the current restrictions. That are you need to show your NHS COVID pass from the NHS app as you go into the den, or you need to show the negative test result, I think, on the same app. I'm not too sure. But if they announce the lockdown from the 27th or the 28th to start on that date, the Coventry City away game, if you've already bought tickets and you've already bought train tickets, that looks set to be postponed. Now I believe because that's a midweek game on because that's a nightly midweek game, that would have been on iFollow video anyway. You could have seen that game anyway on the internet. But this game here, Bristol City away. So in terms of season ticket holders, it's not messing up your season ticket. Hopefully, if it is just the 2 weeks, because you've got the 2 away games that are going to be affected, and you've got the Palace FA Cup game, which isn't on your season ticket. You had to pay extra. And I imagine a lot of season tickets holders have already paid extra, but then that 2 weeks is going to expire by the time you need to use the season ticket again for the Forest home game. So hopefully, if it is just 2 weeks, you're not going to be affected by that. But when has it ever been what they said it was gonna be? It changes all the time. They just keep ramping it up. So hopefully it's not the rest of the season, because that would be absolutely devastating. I told you yesterday, and it's been around all week, about how Millwall's finances are not in a good position now. We're not as bad as some in this league, but yeah, without fans at the ground paying their hard-earned money to see the football, Mill will lose more than they normally lose. It's not good. It really isn't good. So hopefully 2 weeks is just 2 weeks, but we are set to have at least 3 games behind closed doors as we speak. Coventry City away, Bristol City away, and Crystal Palace at home in the FA Cup third round. Now, what could they do? I don't know what they could do here. I think they'll play the game anyway. They don't care about the fans. It's on ITV, so they'll play it anyway. If it wasn't on ITV, what I would imagine is that they probably could have kicked it off to the third round replay day, which is a midweek. So probably a midweek after that for Wednesday the 13th, or is it the after that? So it would have been a midweek, probably after the Forest game, between the Forest game and the Blackpool game. So they could have the FA could have moved all those games from the Saturday to the midweek game, to the midweek slot that's saved for FA Cup replays. and they could have done that, but I don't know. I think they'll go ahead as normal with games behind closed doors. Or here's the thing: it might not even be behind closed doors. It might be 50%, because a lot of people have been vaccinated. So this new variant isn't that bad. It's not that bad anyway. And if most people have been vaccinated anyway, so like at least 75%, at least that. So I don't know. I don't like talking about this. But this is what's happening. I want to let you know that lockdown is looming, and we look set to miss out on 3 games. One of which is being in the massive Crystal Palace at home game, which a lot of fans are excited for. We're excited to go to that game, attend that game, be at that game. And it looks like you won't be. Now, it looks like you won't be. We got at least a 2-week lockdown coming. We were set to have a 6-week. This situation with the showing your pass to get in was set to go until the end of January, 6 weeks. And after 1 week, we already look set to be stepping it up a gear, and it looks set to be behind closed doors. So there you go. Crystal Palace game. I can't believe it. We get a decent draw in the FA Cup, and it's we get completely fucked. Now, yeah, it's going to be on ITV, but so what? It's going to be played in an empty stadium, and there's not going to be any atmosphere. It's going to be exactly like the pre-season friendly that was played behind closed doors, that we lost 1-0. Not this season, the season before, I believe. So, exact same thing. Yeah, this is all getting really fucking boring now. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching, and